Right, hello. Here we are. We're back. This is Life in the Woods, and if you remember the last episode that I recorded, Cherry and I had gone our separate ways, and I'd found this big, pretty area with a mixture of things that you can see behind me. A nice plains. There's a redwood forest right in front of me, over there. And I've been kind of settling in a little bit over here, so I'll show you a little bit of what I've been up to. That lava pool is still there. I haven't done anything with that one, but I have kind of covered over the other lava pool. You see this hillside, it really attracted my attention, or hillside, mountainside, whatever it is, and I got to thinking it was something I'd like to build into the side of, and it reminded me of the mine shafts in the California Gold Rush. Now, what we're seeing here is this is an areas I've been marking out, ready to have a house and a farm just down here, but I haven't really started on those yet. What I have been doing is this mine shaft set into the hill. There we go, Batties, and that's to keep me safe. And you've got all these wood supports. I worked out. I've been doing lots of working out, and that's why I really couldn't do this on camera, because everything I have to look up seems to take me Minecraft days. It takes me hours to look up everything. So remember I found some of that Spanish moss. Well, I've been growing it in various little places around here. So this is my safe place for the moment while I carry on with the rest of the building over there. And yeah, these log posts, like I saw there was a structure just over that way, the other side of the redwood forest somewhere, which used these posts, and they quite took me as being nice things for supports for the mine. Okay, so I've been getting on with a few things, making areas for crafting and such. I've made myself one of those water barrels like we put down in the start of the spawn house. What have I got? Yeah, awesome materials. Look at the amount of string I've managed to get simply from the few places of it's my bedroom. Yeah, I've been growing Spanish moss down the walls of my bedroom. While we're at it, I've found out how you name the different backpacks that I've got. Oh, I've also been let's have a look at the atlas. There you go. So I've named a place of where we are now, Batty's Mine, and this shows you kind of where we went from spawn. I headed off. Well, Cherry and I together went a bit further south, then we separated, and I've headed to the east to end up where I am now. Okay, right, what I did with the mine, I thought it would go down just some distance straight, and then we would have two different mine shafts like this, where you can pop down, and I haven't really done much in the way of any actual mining out of ores and things that I've found. This one goes down, seem to remember it goes past a lava pool that I found, a high up lava pool, level 40. Here's a bit where I did carve out a bunch of coal. Yes, down here, lignite. Yes, that gave me a bit of an experience. It's so dark that you really can't see whether you're about to fall down a hole or whether it's solid ground. You see this one, actually, where does this end up? This one just ends up in a pocket that I dug down at the lowest level. Let's go back, have a look at some of the other ones. Now this one here was actually the first one I dug. I decided a vertical shaft with a ladder down it. I was going down thinking, am I going to run into anything at all? You see I'm beautifully growing some moss down here as well. Yes, I got down to somewhere around about this point and realised it pecked through into a cave, and the cave bottom was completely filled with lignite, and that was the kind of view that I had. I just looked down and thought, well, is that a drop down to some bottomless pit? And just like I have got now, I didn't have any blocks on my bar, and that isn't good. No, let's take the soapstone. Yes, because the next thing that happened was a creeper came walking up to me while I was hanging just up here. Creeper walked up, looked straight in my eyes and began hissing. I jumped up and down, not having any blocks. I jumped up and down here, and he was just behind that corner there and stopped hissing each time I jumped. Finally I found that I did have some slabs on my hotbar, and I just jumped up and down and built the slabs. Yes, that wasn't the best experience, so I still have to go into that cave and see what goes on. This is the other arm of my mine that I've built so far. This one kind of goes down fairly innocuously down to as far as here, and then at this point there is definitely a cave that I could hear out there. Right, so I'll be exploring that at some point. And it comes on down through this. What's this stuff? Siltstone. Siltstone. That's an interesting one. Siltstone, more lignite. Look, there's coal in the lignite. You can scarcely make it out until you've got a torch right next to it. Yeah, siltstone, I think, collects as siltstone instead of turning into cobble. Look, I never even saw that. We've got iron in it. It's probably the best camouflaged ore and stone combination. Almost as good as that, well, about as good as the ones where you see that. Coal and lignite together. Right. Now this mine, yes, this one's going to be interesting, because this one takes you right down into a cave. And there's guys down there, and a bat. Hi, friendly bat. But I can hear the mobs are all over there somewhere. But that's for another time. I'm not exploring that one yet today. Notice I'm pretty much armoured up, but I'm not brave enough yet. I'm not going to be going in there and taking on the dark caves too much. I really wanted to not do anything like that while I was off camera as well. I thought that I would just make a start on a claim on my presence in this area, basically. Oh, it's night time now. So I got everything set up nicely. What I'll do is I'll quickly sleep, and then I can talk about the areas that I'm preparing outside. Whoa, I climbed up the moss. Very clever. Okay. Oh. I've had to fight a few guys out here. Now, there's always the possibility there's going to be someone come and drop on my head up from up there. Now, at the moment this is a kind of squarish place, but I've been thinking a bit more about it, and maybe it won't end up being quite so square. Oh, he's still alive underneath me, isn't he? Well, you'll just burn when you come out. I might make it slightly more rectangular. mainly because I've got an idea since I built this, and I kind of like this as my floor surface. I lined cobblestone bricks, something that I made with the chisel. Maybe not the dark oak. I've gone and collected a whole load of dark oak because I've done a little bit of exploring, and I realised that over that way, quite a long way over that way, there is the dark oak forest. But yes, I think probably ordinary oak pillar logs, making pillars up the corners. And the material I'd like to use for this building is actually one of the birch log variants that you can make with the chisel, and that should be quite a pleasant appearance. And I've even got this idea for putting shutters on the windows. It's a kind of old style house, fairly white but with darker pillars in the corner, and probably I'll have the door matching the pillars in the corner. Yes, notice that I've got this, the start of where I wanted my first bit of farm down here. One thing I don't know enough about farming. I know that there's this thing called garden soil, but I don't know how to make it. I don't even know which mod implements it, so I don't know how to go and look that up. But I put torches on there, and apparently you don't even need torches because plants don't grow in torchlight. They only grow in sunlight, as I understand it. But we shall see. Let's just take care of this guy. He didn't take that much taking care of, did he? Yes, this was where there used to be a lava pool that I knew I was just going to fall into one day. So I obsidianized all of that. Right, so I think, whereas I've actually got a lot of dark oak in my inventory, I actually need to go out there and collect some birch and some a little bit of ordinary oak. So I'll go and do that and then come back and we can continue after that. Oh! Right, I've been doing my collecting, and I've had a couple of little experiences while I was doing that. A creeper jumped me at one moment while I was out in the birch forest. I've got over 100 birch logs now. That's good. I've got my 30 oak wood. My axe has run out, so I'm just going to make myself a new one. Oh, I seem to have picked up another bow from that. There we go. That's coming along nicely. That skelly that I killed underneath the foundations of the new house. Oh yeah, anvil reminds me that I was working out how to repair things that are made of refined iron, and was finding that you couldn't, well, Cherry told me that you couldn't repair them by just putting two tools together in your inventory, but then I worked out that you could actually repair them if you had an anvil. So I got myself an anvil, and yeah, it kind of works in an interesting fashion where if they're very, very damaged, they only take a very small amount of XP to repair, and if they're fully, you know, if you've only chipped them down a little bit, then it takes four or five levels. But none of them are very high levels of anything. So, right, let's get on with a bit of cooking of that, make a space in my inventory while I'm at it. Yeah, I've been poisoned by things as I walk around in the woods as well quite a lot. I don't know whether it's just plants that I've walked past that didn't like me. Let me see, I want... there we go. I want to make the house a bit wider. I don't want the dark oak anymore. I will be using some glass later. So let's go and... I wonder if it's insects stinging me. Right, this is a 15 by 15 square and I don't want that anymore. Let's just take down these pillars in the corner as well. Now I don't really want to extend it. I'm only extending it by 3, but I don't want to extend it this way because it kind of covers up the mine entrance. So I'll take it this way instead. I don't know what I'm doing with that farm. It may stay like that or it may not. Yeah. Right, here we are. We have a resident pig. Let's put the planks around the walls as if there are no doors and windows, and I'll chip the doors and windows out afterwards. Okay. I now would like to place a few of the windows. Now I want a gap. I want shutters on these windows. I'm trying to remember. I think we have a right, because there's a wall there. Right, that's the way it's going to go, with the upstairs being windows in each of those positions and the downstairs having a door in, at least in the front surface, front face of the building in that position. Right, windows only go up here. Okay, this is going to be a door. That's quite a good door placing at the moment because it needs steps up to it, which means that it's actually going to be safe in the night. Mobs are not going to be able to walk up here until I've put the steps in. Made some glass panes with a chisel and a diagonal stripe on them. I thought that'll probably look quite nice. Yeah, so I haven't really planned out any more than just the front face of this. We'll have to adapt all of the other sides of the building so that it fits in, really. Right, so if you can see that, that's the way it begins anyway. Just with those windows there. We're going to carry on with an upstairs next, and let's get back and see what happens after I've extended it higher. Okay, so there it is coming along. Obviously all kinds of structural things still in place that are not intended to stay there at the end. I'm going to have a roof on there as well, but that's the front. That's that beginning of the front. I'm going to break up these plain areas as well with something a little bit more decorative as well. But I think that's coming along, and I'm making a bit of my presence in the area. So I think that's probably enough for one day. One episode, it's not one day. Right. Okay. Batty's. I'll have to rename that. It's not just Batty's, it's Batty's Drift Mine or something like that. Batty's claim of 2016. We'll see if we can do that before next episode. So, thank you very much for watching. Please come back and join me next time. Bye bye.